Hi, it's great to be back. My name is Tracy Stadler, and I am the Director of Nutrition Services and the Outpatient Diabetes Education Program at Magruder Hospital. I'm a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes educator. And with me, I have my friend.
Hi, I'm Shelley Hillman. I'm the Director of Food Services at Magruder Hospital, and it's great to be with Tracy today. I haven't done this in a little while, so bear with me, folks.
We're going to have a great time. What we did, we thought we'd go over some healthy salads for summer salads and some different options for you to try. I know I talked the other day about this being such a hectic time and being at home more, but that really doesn't mean that we can't enjoy our summery picnic type foods. So we thought we'd share with you 2 recipes that we have tried and we really like, and give you some other options that we've kind of come up with for the salads as well. So we hope you enjoy these as much as we do. Our first salad, we're going to show you it already prepared. The second one, we will kind of go through a quick demo for you. But our first, I'm going to go ahead and move this out, make sure everyone can see. Our first recipe here is a Tabouli salad. You'd be amazed at the different recipes that I saw online for Tabouli salad. I'm not sure if any of you have ever tried it before. I can tell you that growing up, I really didn't care for it all that much, and now I love it. And they do say tastes change as we get older. And that's a good thing, because it is a great salad. In it, one of the ingredients is called bulgur wheat. I don't know if you've ever had it before. There are 2 different kinds, apparently. There is a red bulgur wheat and a white bulgur wheat. What I found at Kroger was a red bulgur wheat, so that's what we used for this recipe.
And apparently, Tracy, if I can jump in real
Please
quickly, in addition to there being different colors of bulgur wheat, there are also different consistencies. When we were doing some research for the presentation today, there was a suggestion for us to use an extra fine bulgur, but we could not find it. So we were forced to soak it in hot water and leave it soak for 45 minutes as opposed to just like 5 to 7 minutes if you use the extra fine.
Yes. So, I mean, if you look at the regular bulgur wheat, it looks pretty fine to me. So apparently it can get even more fine. But yeah. But I will tell you, since this went, I think it's good. Since this went for 45 minutes, it's like soaking beans overnight before you use them, but you don't have to let this soak overnight. But while this was soaking for the 45 minutes, what we did was chop up the other ingredients and get all of that ready to go in the salad. So,
would you like me to talk about the ingredients?
I would love for you to talk about the ingredients.
So what else is in our Tabouli today is fresh mint, fresh parsley, lemon juice, olive oil. We chose to add a finely chopped cucumber, and we also did diced tomatoes as well, and a little bit of green onion. Yeah. A nice mixture that as it sits and marries overnight even, it has a much better flavor the next day, we have found.
It does. So what we did with the parsley and the mint, we chopped off the stems and put those 2 things combined in a food processor. Now, the great thing about that is you could really make that any consistency you want. You can leave them in smaller, pulse it, leave them in smaller pieces, or you could be like my mother who just grinds them up till they're all, you got the beautiful color and they're all ground up, but you still have the wonderful flavors as well. So again, that would be your choice, whichever you choose to do. Like Shelley said, we chopped up the tomatoes. Didn't they say about the tomatoes? What did we do with that?
Oh, that's right. I should say about the cucumber as well. We used English cucumbers because they don't have as heavy a seed and don't get as watery. And after we were done using the Roma tomato, which is what the recipe called for, they also recommended that we put them into a colander to allow the tomatoes to further weep away that extra and drain that extra liquid so that it didn't add to the texture of the salad.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too watery then. So after all of those things are chopped up, including the onions, we mix them all together. Then it's probably close to 45 minutes and the bulgur was ready.
Yep.
So then we add that, we got that all nicely blended together, and at that point, you can season it however, if you choose to put a little bit of salt, you can put some, my gosh, you could probably put a little pepper in there if you want, whatever the case may be, season it how you want. But after that, the dressing that we put on there was a fresh lemon.
Fresh lemon and a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah, delicious. You would be amazed at the taste difference between a bottle of lemon juice, which if I were at home, that's probably what I would have done, but the fresh lemons. It's such a great, great fresh flavor. So the lemons with the oil then goes over and we mix them together and we have this beautiful salad, okay? We do have recipes for the 2 salads that we're making, and we will leave them with Stacy, and they will be in the admin office. We also have a nutrient breakdown if you're interested in that as well. So those handouts will be available for you. Another thing that I was thinking that we could have possibly done for this, and I don't know, I like to look at, you take a recipe, and to me, this is always a starting point. Because you can take these recipes and make them your own. Change an ingredient, alter it, alter the coarseness of it. You know, we could have taken those green onions in the food processor as well with the parsley and the mint, and you know, just however you choose to make this and change it and make that recipe your own. A lot of time it's trial and error. We could have made this and thought, ugh, that's not very good. But my challenge to you then is if you make a recipe and it doesn't turn out the way you like it, is to try something else. What can you do to improve on that?
Absolutely. Like for instance, I don't think traditional tabbouleh calls for cucumber.
No.
But our recipe did, and we both are fans of cucumber, so we decided to leave it in. We didn't peel the cucumber, but you certainly could have if you don't like the peel. You can leave the cucumber out. And one thing that as Tracy and I were preparing for today that I thought about is we could have subbed out the bulgur wheat for cauliflower rice, which is simple to do, and it will then give a little bit of a different texture, and it will also lower your carbohydrates.
We actually tried that first, and Shelley prepared that one. It was delicious. So if you're looking at you know, modifying your carbohydrate intake, that would be a way to do it. And just get some more good vegetables in there as well. Absolutely. Another thing you could do is, I've seen tabbouleh with a lot more of the bulgur wheat in it. So you could add more. You can even cut back on it and have it be more of the vegetables. It's whichever flavor you prefer, but it's a great salad to, you know, maybe next year, if you're going out to a party or a picnic or a potluck, whatever the case may be, it's a great salad to take. First of all, it's not a mayonnaise base, so you don't have to worry about it. You know, if it's a little warmer in there, you don't have to worry about it spoiling or anything. So it's always nice to have some fresh ideas, some things new that you can try. A website that I used, and if you were able to join us on Tuesday, I mentioned this, it's called eatingwell.com. It's just one word. I usually Google it and click on it, but it has a zillion recipes, good recipes. They're simple, they're easy to make, and I can honestly say that I don't think I've ever made anything from it that I haven't liked.
I agree.
So.
I've used, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I've used that site as well. And just not to totally change the subject, but something else that you could do with the tabbouleh, actually I think that you could use it in a variety of different ways. We think of it typically as a side dish, but I think that you might even be able to warm it up and serve it with a nice salmon fillet, and a chicken breast, exactly. Or you could just do it very simply and take a nice leaf of butter lettuce and wrap it and use that as like a wrap, if you will. Or you could eat it with pita bread or pita chips.
My mother loves it in pita bread. She'll make the tabbouleh, put that in there, and that's her lunch. So yeah, the pita chips are great. Again, just so many options. It looks like, whoop, that's just a little salad, but there's so many things that you can do with it. Okay. All right. With that being said, we're going to move this one to the side, and we have another recipe for you that we're going to just kind of quickly go through the different ingredients. It's not many ingredients in the salad, which I like. I like the ones that are just a few, but those few, although it doesn't seem like much, gives such a great flavor to this salad. And this salad, like the tabbouleh, you could make it as a side, or you can actually use it as your entree. Again, we'll go over some of the different options, but there are different things that you can do with this. This recipe, again, will be at the admin office. Stacy has these, and this one is called pesto pasta with lemon, spinach, edamame, and toasted almonds.
And so basically that talks about all the ingredients that are in
That's
this
it.
salad. So what I have here is, again, we just brought a small sample so that we could just kind of walk you through it. It's fresh baby spinach, and we have a little bit of penne pasta that we're going to add to it that is just a little warm. We warmed it up before we left the hospital. And we have the edamame beans. And Tracy and I were kind of talking about this on the way over here today, that if you're not a huge fan of edamame, and some people aren't, because I kind of think it's an acquired taste sometimes, that you could leave the edamame out. And what were we talking about? Maybe adding like pine nuts, maybe.
So when I trialed the recipe at home, I did not have edamame. And wasn't going back out to the store, so I looked to see, in the refrigerator, what did I have? And so I had pine nuts. Now here's the thing, pine nuts aren't gonna add as much protein in that as the edamame will. However, what you could do is add a chicken breast. You can grill that, chop it up, put it in, mix it up, and again, there would be your entree. But the one thing, oh shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say now. Okay, that one's gone, but it will come back. It will come back. It had to do with that salad.
Okay.
Oh, I know what it was. So the recipe actually calls for spaghetti or angel hair pasta. Shelley and I chose to make this with penne pasta because when I made it at home, the stuff doesn't mix. It doesn't mix like you would think it would. So it just didn't blend as well. So we chose to use the penne pasta instead.
So basically what we're trying to get at is you could really pretty much use any pasta that you wanted. It really isn't going to affect the outcome of your recipe at all. So what I'm adding now is pesto, and as you can see, we just bought a store-bought pesto, but the recipe does say that if you are the kind that make your own at home, please, by all means. It can only, as far as I'm concerned, improve the outcome. Yep. So I'm just adding some pesto, and I have to improvise because my spoon didn't fit in the opening of the jar, so bear with me. I should have tested that before we came.
It's okay, that's good. We probably have more in there than we needed, so we're good.
So then I'm just going to stir to combine this.
It looks delicious.
It does, and it smells really good too. What do they say on the Food Network? It's too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. I had to throw that in there, sorry.
I think that's a good one.
Okay.
That's good.
And then we're going to take our lemon juice, and again, this is fresh squeezed lemons, and we're going to add that to the top. We're going to stir to combine. And then the very last thing that we're going to put into the salad is our toasted almonds. We've crushed them just a little bit, and we just put a very light toasting on the almonds just to kind of bring out a little bit more flavor.
So, okay, I knew it would come back. I remember what I was going to say. Edamame. I'm not sure even if everybody knows what edamame is. Can we pull one of those little edamames out of there?
Sure, hang on one second.
That's okay.
Let me find one. Yep, here we go.
Okay. So this little bean is edamame. It's a young soybean. So because it's young, it's more tender. It has a different flavor. The texture's a little different than tofu, which is also soy. Okay. So actually, when they grow in a pod. So these are already taken out of the pod and cleaned up and put in there. But I think the buttery flavor just really gives a richness to the salad without adding the extra fat. You just have the good flavor. So that's what edamame is, in case you ever wanted to try it. Now you know what it is.
And it definitely has a different mouthfeel and texture and taste than tofu.
Yeah.
Being it's from the same product. Okay, so I think our salad is all combined really well, so let me pour it out into a better bowl so that you can see it.
That's gorgeous.
And then there you can see we have our finished product. And again, as Tracy was talking about a little bit ago, you could definitely pair this with a different protein. I think that you could heat this as well a little bit more. It would wilt the spinach just a little bit more. Serve chicken breast, shrimp, salmon again, or any kind of fish really.
You can do that, or put a pork chop on the side, however. Make that meal what you want it to be. Just make sure you're having, for the most part, good, healthy foods. It's really not that difficult when you think about it. The key, I think, is planning. You know, so if you plan ahead that you are going to try to make this tabbouleh, and you're going to have that with dinner on Saturday, well, you just make sure you have your ingredients and you know what you're going to have it with it, and you're going to have a delicious meal.
You know what, I just thought of something else, because we were talking a lot about taking the recipe and making it your own and being creative. So again, as I talked in the tabbouleh about the cauliflower rice change, you know what we could do to this to pump up the vegetables and lower the carbs is you could do spiralized zucchini.
Oh,
You wouldn't have to cook it necessarily, but it would hold up against the pesto and the stirring, and that would be a way again to pump up your vegetables and reduce your carbs. Or maybe you could do half and half.
You could, and that's I think that's the beauty of these recipes. You can decrease or increase whichever ingredient you want. You know, you may make this and think, you know what, I really love pesto, but I don't taste it as much as I want to. Well, add more. That's not, you know, that's great. It's just going to give it better flavor. It's not going to hurt anything. Same with the oil. When we're putting the oil in with the tabbouleh, maybe some people choose to use a little more lemon, a little less oil. What's that going to save you? The calories from the extra fat that you cut out.
Absolutely.
So again, just always remember a recipe is a starting point. It's trial and error. Take these recipes, that's my challenge to you, and make them your own, okay? Shelley and I are available at Magruder anytime. If you have any questions, we'd love to come back and join you again. We'll see where this virus takes us. I hope that we can all be together again in the same room soon.
Absolutely.
Never know. I'm sure we will. We'll just have to wait it out and see when that happens. But when we do, I want to hear from each of you that you found some good, healthy recipes, whether they're one of these two or one that you found and you made it your own. And I'd love to hear how it turned out.
So would I.
Yes. So thank you for having us.
Thanks very much.
This is great. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Stay well. Stay healthy.